Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is a scene for the Kingdom of the Southern Gate, a Changeling the Lost venue. Today's scene is going to be dealing with several very triggering and upsetting topics, potentially. If you find yourself prone to anxiety, then viewer discretion is advised. That being said, Rose is in bed with her lover, the Winter King, Elias Nielsen. And she becomes aware in her sleep that they're not alone anymore, that someone else is in the house. It doesn't necessarily stir a sense of anxiety or panic. She's just aware.
She will get up, brush a hand across Elias, and go investigate. She's pretty sure she knows who else in the house, obviously.
One thing that
So
she
yeah.
notices is that there is humidity from the bathroom. Um, as though somebody were recently in there and took a shower.
Okay. If there's nobody in there now, then she'll just she'll say softly, Lexa.
Um, the he doesn't respond, but the door to the bedroom is open, and when her and Elias came in here, Elias closed the door.
Okay. She'll exit the bedroom then.
Okay. She finds Lexa sitting on the very far end of the couch, wearing a pair of sleeping pants and like a big shirt, one of like Elias's. And as small as he is and as big as Elias is, it's he's damn near swimming in it. And she notices that he's very much pulled into himself. His like legs are drawn up and kind of pressed against his chest, and his like arms are kind of crossed across his chest. And she notices that his eyes are very distant. He's kind of staring at a point in front of himself. And as she approaches him, she realizes that his left cheek, his cheekbone is a little bit swollen and has a bloody welt. And she can see like fresh, like red bleeding welts on his arms.
I okay. She knows that her eyes disturb him, but she can't help but feel angry when she sees this. But she wants to compose herself to where she's not appearing angry. So, is there anything that I can do to prevent her eyes from glowing?
She is aware that if she really focuses on it and basically like just kind of chills it out, she can keep it from happening essentially.
Okay.
Like if
Then
she is
she'll.
conscious of it, she can stop it from happening.
Okay. Yeah, she would be at that point. A little later on, probably not so much. However, she's gonna just take a couple of deep breaths, and she's gonna soften herself. And she's not going to touch him. She's seen abuse victims at the homeless shelter all the time. She's going to position herself in front of him to break his line of sight at the nothingness he's staring at.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa,
He doesn't respond at first. And when she moves to break his line of sight, she realizes he's just not there at the moment. His mind is somewhere else.
She will very slowly and gently reach out to touch him.
The second her skin touches his, he cries out and basically kind of like pushes back into the sofa, like his eyes going wild, and he kind of hands up like over his head.
What has happened to you?
Yeah, that's by the way going to pull Elias out of bed. Like he'll throw on a robe and like kind of come in himself.
Oh, for sure.
But he's standing back and letting her like do.
Mm.
It's actually a little bit horrifying because as his husband, he wants to, of course, obviously rush up to him.
Of
But the
course.
thing is actually this is fueling his mantle
Right?
and leaving him almost horrifyingly incapable of intervening.
Yeah.
Um, so basically, Lexa, it's very clear even when he looks at her that he doesn't realize it's her. And then as he starts to come around and he enters a full panic attack, um, which essentially you can speak him down from.
Yeah.
And once he becomes coherent again, he just starts shaking and looks at her. And he gives her like a false smile, like his lips curl up into a smile, but it doesn't go to his eyes. And he just kind of smiles at her. Hello. Hi. I'm sorry I'm in so late. I I got tied up at a a rap party. I'm sorry. Post rap photo shoot. There was a fashion show, and I got caught up.
Rose is. I can't even describe her emotions right now. Like, um, she's not crying, but she is. She's very worried, but also she's like, she knows that he's not telling the truth. Lexa,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to tell me what's going on. Who? No, I know who. I'm pretty sure I know who is doing this to you. But I need you to tell me.
He swallows hard. I. He'll kind of look down. I did something very bad. I didn't mean to. I was I was with another woman. I didn't I didn't want to. I told her no. I said and just kind of tears start rolling down his face. I don't know what happened. I said no, and I shut down. I couldn't stop her. I don't know what happened.
She very gently takes him into her arms and just pets his, runs her fingers through his hair, kind of rocks him back and forth soothingly.
For a
You,
moment, like he unconsciously kind of pulls back, but then he like lays into her.
you didn't do anything wrong. How long has she been doing this?
Since last summer. And yeah, Elias kind of inhales sharply.
Elias can see Rose's eyes glowing now. Like whatever she was doing to try and control it, she's not anymore.
Elias, in the most, in like, in the, literally his ability to speak right now is shocking. But in the
Mm.
most non accusatory, and yet I need to state this way, he says, this was consensual. I thought that your I thought going what was going on was something that you wanted. And Elias or Alexei will just kind of bite his lip and just kind of he'll like he's kind of like playing with his hands, like wringing them, and he'll say, "I didn't want to. I I couldn't say anything. I don't know why." And he'll swallow. And basically, Elias just shakes his head and looks away. Not out of disgust at Alexei or anything like that, out of more kind of his own sense of embarrassment.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
He, being Winter King, thought he was essentially respecting his husband's secrets.
Yes.
Didn't pick up he was being abused. So he'll
Which
swallow.
Rose is definitely not going to fault him for that either.
Definitely. So yeah, he swallowed
Oh,
hard and just she can see his jaws so tight if his fucking teeth were glass, it'd shatter.
Rose is trying very hard not to be rigid. She wants to be softer for him,
Mhm.
but she is angry. Um, so she's
But
been
yeah,
she's been
he'll look at her.
she's been doing this to you against your will since last summer for a
It, it,
year.
it's never gotten this bad. I don't know
So,
why.
so it's escalated.
I just wanted to come home, but we were at this party together, and she told me that she wanted to apologize to me about something, and she wanted to talk to me, and so she took me into the host's bedroom, and I don't know why. I don't know what happened to me. I don't. It's not like it was anything supernatural. I'm not going to ascribe it to that. I just I didn't want to hit her back. I didn't want to push her. I didn't want to create a scene. I didn't.
Lexa,
I'm stronger than her. What happened? I'm literally physically stronger than her, and she just had her way with me, and I I don't understand. I don't understand what happened. He'll just kind of hold his head.
She keeps trying to soothe and comfort him, but I'm going to ask you an uncomfortable question.
He'll nod and look up to her.
She forced you to have sex with her.
He sobs very softly and nods his head.
She inhales very sharply, and the tears start spilling down her face, tears of anger. Her heart races faster than it already had been. You, I'm telling you, you can never see her again. This is the only order I will ever give you, but you cannot ever see her again. And I need to know where to find her. She will never hurt you again. Ever. And her grip on him gets a little tighter. She hugs him tighter, and her demeanor is extremely protective.
Elias will. He'll kind of. The air in the fucking room, the temperature is dropped because Elias is so angry by about a
Mm-hmm.
20 to 30 degrees. Um,
I figure Rose is so angry that she doesn't really notice, though.
yeah.
Like, her
He'll,
own mantle intensifying a little bit. Like, no.
he'll, the thing is something he's been so abused and warped and essentially manipulated that he can't oddly and strangely betray her like that. Like it's fucking deranged. You know what I mean?
Uh
It's
huh.
pure. But Elias will kind of tilt his head and he'll say, "Why don't I give him something to help him sleep? To take his to take the edge off his nerves."
Rose will slowly nod her head. I think that that would be a good idea.
He'll he'll grab his bag, like his medical bag, and he'll pull out the port for an IV line, and we'll basically tap a vein in his arm, and he'll give him about 2 milligrams of Ativan. And she can basically see Lexa like just slip. Like it's just as the drugs hit him, he just kind of whoo. And he'll basically like wait a minute. Like Elias will kind of wait a moment until Alexa like really kind of relaxes. And he'll say, ask him now.
He said, what did he say?
Ask him now.
Oh, okay. Where can I find her?
As one is to be expected after Elias fucking doses them with anything. This man seems to be like a fucking heavy handed bartender when it comes to meds.
For sure.
He'll kind of blink like, holy shit, I'm still alive. And he'll shake his head, but it's more in kind of a, he's trying to collect his thoughts. And he'll say, I think she went to sleep at the party. Was, I left her in bed.
Where's
He'll swallow. Um, He's trying to recall. He's like so fucking bombed out.
Yeah.
Freckle. It's a business card in my pocket, and in my pants I had a
Are they in the
David.
bathroom?
Yeah, it's David Kelly. It's his house.
Okay. She'll she'll keep holding on to him for a few minutes.
Yeah, Elias is pulling the port for the IV out. He actually gave him a couple of little other things that just kind of like
Probably something for pain and stuff
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
some little pain medicines and stuff like that, and he'll dispose of all of that in a sharps bag and kind of he actually just kind of looks over at Rose. It's one of those things where unless people want the Winter King to possibly kill everybody on that block, this needs to be in somebody else's hands because if he handles it, there's going to be gossip.
Oh no, she's fully intending on handling this.
Yeah, he needs to handle his husband and make sure he's okay.
But
So
she
he'll clean the welt on his cheek and the marks on his arms and stuff like that, just kind of tenderly like just looking at him. And there are so many fucking unshed tears in his eyes. He looks just he's pushing total edgelord right now.
for sure. After he's cleaned all of his wounds, things like that. Rose is gonna look at Elias. I'm gonna go find her.
These parties tend to run very late. It's pretty early. It's only 2 o'clock.
I'm going to go get dressed and show up. There's a very menacing look in her eyes, on top of them glowing. She will give Lexa a very soft kiss on the lips.
He actually smiles at her. Like with all of the
And
meds going through him and all of that, he's fucking medically induced. Relax. He's cool now.
oh yeah, she'll touch her forehead to his. No one will hurt you again.
Present. He'll kind of like touch your cheek with a finger, like that drugged out. Like holy shit. And he's like, I have a present for you.
oh,
Mm-hmm. He'll, he'll actually kind of playfully like grab her face and like when you shake somebody's face like gently
mm-hmm.
do like that.
She'll actually smile.
And then he'll cup his hand over her cheek and stroke it. Shh, but I can't tell you what the present is.
So it's supposed to be a surprise.
It's a secret.
Of course it is.
whispers. And Elias is like, why are we whispering? God, my ears are screaming. And Elias is like, oh, okay. He's like, can you tell me what the present is? And he'll kind of lean in and whisper in his ear. And Elias's brows will go up and he's like, oh, well, that's a nice present.
Rose's curiosity is now very piqued.
And then Elias will look back at him and he's like, do you want me to tell you the secret? That's how out of it he is. He doesn't quite get he doesn't quite get that it's her.
Hmm.
I I can't tell you the secret. It'll make my girlfriend mad. He'll pet her face. But you're so beautiful.
She'll just kind of look at Elias like, what did you what did you give him?
Adderall, morphine, or he says Ativan, morphine, and Benadryl.
Oh boy.
I'll nod.
It's probably best to let him go to sleep now.
Probably for the next 24 hours. He'll nod. He'll scoop him up. And he'll scoop him up and kind of carry him
When
to the
he's
bed.
when he scoops him up off of Rose, Rose kind of like reflexively holds onto him for just a second, like she doesn't want to let him go, but then realizes she has to.
Mhm.
And there are still tears streaming down her face. She'll get up and follow them.
Okay.
Rose's mind is swirling, like as she's
Can't wait.
walking. Ugh.
But yeah, she can see the pile of the clothes that he wore on the floor.
Um, and she'll pick up the pants that he was wearing and rifle through the pockets looking for the address of where he was at.
When her hand is rifling through the pocket, she feels something in it. Like he's got his wallet, blah blah blah, his keys, all that bullshit. But she also feels something else.
Okay.
I put a link to what it is.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. There is a small wooden box in his pocket.
She swallows hard and she opens the box.
There is an engagement ring in that box.
She shuts the box and puts it back in his pocket. Continues looking for what she needs.
Yes, there is a business card that has it's for a like a an editor in chief of a magazine, and it has like an address on it.
She takes the card. And before she goes to get dressed, she'll go and help Elias get Alexis settled in bed.
Okay. He'll kind of he'll kind of look at her and tilt his head. Is something wrong? He'll hold
I
for
don't think.
yes, duh, obviously something's wrong. But is something this wrong? You look flustered.
I found something in his pocket.
I could have done him a favor. I was distracted. He'll bite his lip. I can talk to him if you want. I can tell you. I can tell him no, it's not a good idea. It's
She just starts shaking her head. No, no, no. And then tears start streaming down her face.
he'll actually go over to her and wrap his arms around her. I know as the king I can be distant, and I know that although he loves me very much, I am limited in what I can give him in my whole life. My duty is to the court, first and foremost. Although I love you both very much. I do. I'm happy if this happens. You know, I'm not here as much as I'd like to be. And I don't have the ability to give him everything he deserves. I wish I could.
She hugs him tightly. I know. Thank you for letting me be part of your lives.
Of course.
I'm going to make sure that she never hurts him again.
He'll nod. I just wanted you to know that he'll kind of chew his lip. I didn't want you to feel that I was put out or that I wasn't aware of this.
She'll nod. As long as you're okay with it, I'll be more than happy.
I'm more than happy. I welcome it. I just. There is a part of me that mourns the fact that I cannot be a husband, a true husband. I love I love Alexei very much. So much. But he deserves more attention than I can give him. And he would never, ever say that. He would never dream to ask for it. Glad that I have you two to come home to. You make. He'll kind of stroke her cheek gently. You make the cold and desperate touch of winter less painful. You take the edge off of my desolation. And he'll smile softly.
She'll she'll smile back and close her eyes, tears still streaming, and she'll lean up to kiss him.
He'll return the kiss gently and as warm as he can manage right now.
For sure.
He will stroke her cheek and he says, I have one favor.
Of course.
Please do not grant this wretch the mercy of death.
I wasn't planning on it.
And he'll smile.
She needs to suffer as she made him suffer. Worse. 10 times worse. 100 times worse. The anger and hatred for this woman returns to her.
If you go to the freehold itself of the court and you go to our bedroom, there is a chess table. If you move the white left knight, he'll tell the position, and the black second pawn from the right, a door will open. I think
Secret room.
Yeah, he'll nod. I think you'll like what you find in there.
A wicked smile crosses her face. I love you.
And I love you. He'll stroke her cheek. I may never be able to make you a queen, but it's only because that station is so far beneath you. And his thumb will pass over her lip and kiss her softly.
She'll smile. I kiss him back.
Let me get back to Alexa. We'll stretch. I'm going to have to call into work tomorrow.
Same. I plan to be busy.
Her jaw.
Huh?
He'll stroke her jaw.
She'll close her eyes.
We will stand
We should get going.
whispering. Yes, because if not, we will stand here whispering sweet nothings to each other all night.
She smiles. Indeed.
Love needs us right now. So let us end our distraction. And he'll tip her and give her a big, passionate, hard kiss. And swing her out. Kind of giving her a little spin.
She'll laugh and be a bit dizzy for just a moment. Like, just kind of. That broke a little bit of her tension. And she will go and get dressed. And she'll put on typical party outfit that she has. Dress, high heels, accessories, you know, the drill. She'll put the business card into her purse, and she'll give Lexa a kiss on the forehead before she goes.
Hmm. That man is like off somewhere by Pluto right now. Like,
Oh yeah, she knows, but she just yeah, she needed to kiss him before she left. So, and she's gonna go to this fucking party.
so travel montage. Wee, wee, wee. Vroom, vroom. It's valet parking only, so I hope you brought the good car. Um,
Oh, for sure. Of course she did.
when she gets into this penthouse, this party, um, one thing that she notices is she doesn't know anyone there, but that doesn't mean that they don't look at her and decide that they think they should know her, if you follow me. And so they're kind of trying to kind of like,
Place her.
yeah, place her, talk to her. You know, she gets the small talk routine. Oh, are you from this and that? Oh, yes. You know, I think I saw you at this and that, you know. And no, none of them know her. And it's not because she's above this crowd or anything, that they're just not the same circles.
For sure.
Um, this is a lot of like entertainment and like that kind of high society. Models and actors and actresses, stuff like that. Um, you know, like Ryan Reynolds is there.
Of course he is.
And but yeah, yeah, people are basically essentially trying to place her and things like that, but none of them really can. And a bit she's settled enough into the party where she's not standing out completely.
Yes, she will, she's not like rushing through the crowd to draw any attention to herself because she needs to be able to get to this bedroom unmolested for the most part. So
Yes.
she's going to mingle through the crowd and,
Mm-hmm.
be her normal social bubbly self
Mm-hmm.
um, before, trying to really figure out where she needs to go.
She does in the like the crowd. She does hear someone say, like call out Heidi.
Yeah, that gets her attention.
Yeah. Basically, she'll see a young woman with like kind of a group of fucking airheads, you know what I mean? Like that kind. Like uh kind of just standing with them, laughing, drinking, just kind of making talk. She is a very beautiful young woman. Um her beauty is marred, obviously, by your opinion. She's wearing kind of the little black dress with the Louboutins and the. It's one of those things where like all of the pieces are there to make a very beautiful, attractive package, but because of the rot that you're feeling,
Uh-huh.
mm-hmm,
Hmm.
this dumb bitch over there eating crackers. Okay,
Yeah. Pretty much.
but yeah, so she's basically kind of standing there, like just laughing and just kind of. She kind of like tucks her hair behind her ear and just she's just talking.
Rose takes a deep breath. She's going to go over to her and introduce herself.
Um, she'll kind of turn to her and smile. I love your dress. Where did you get it from?
She'll rattle off the name of some designer.
Oh, I can't tell though. I'm having trouble placing it. Is it from last season's collection?
She looks at her like, really, bitch?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He just did that shit in front of everybody. In front of everybody. No, this bitch is not from last season. This is so this season. You know what? It's a fucking private signature dress, okay? It's a Vavardo off, okay? Like,
Pretty much. That's pretty much what she just.
come up like, bitch, you did not. Them Louboutins, you know you got them at their shop. Fuck off.
Oh my god. Yes, that's essentially what Rose does.
And basic. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. Like her inner queer is in her head like that right now.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, for sure.
Fucking Kate or something. I don't know. Fuck. But that's the level of bitch you're dealing with, by the way.
Oh, it's taking everything Rose has to not just snatch her up out of here and make a fucking scene. Like,
right.
it's taking all she has not to do that.
But she'll give her that false, just she thinks she's the queen bitch smile. And she'll kind of tilt her head. So, Rose, tell us, what do you do?
She'll smile. I run the most prominent Miami.
Out of game, what did you say? I'm sorry. The last word was lost.
She said that she runs the most prominent homeless shelter in Miami. She's kind of talking herself up a little bit.
Oh, that's so nice. Tell me, did you come up from the streets? I love an underdog story. Don't you, Tiffany? And Tiffany's like, I love it. And she'll smile back.
She just kind of blinks. Oh god, she just wants to take her fucking head off right now. She'll actually say, you know, as a matter of fact, I did. Which means I have no problems getting what I want.
And tell me, Rose, what do you want?
She'll give a bit of a seductive smile to her. What I see standing in front of me.
Her brow will go up. Oh? Do you appreciate art?
I do.
You know, Mr. Kelly has the most beautiful painting in his bedroom. I think it was by some urban degenerate come, I don't know, Art Nouveau, whatever. It sounds like something you'd probably like. Would you like to go and see it?
She'll smile. Of course. I'd love to.
Cheers. And she'll shrug and start walking. Now, here's the deal that you should highly fucking enjoy. When you get to the bedroom, she'll shut the door behind you. And here's the deal. And you may not expect this, but I think you're going to want to fucking let this bitch run it out just so you can slap her down.
Okay.
When she shuts the door, her entire demeanor changes. And she looks at her and edges in on her. Like, starts walking in on her, like, aggressively. Not like she's going to, like, fucking hit you, come at you. But, like, bruises up, bitch. And she's like, do you actually think he doesn't talk about you? Are you that dense? He doesn't shut up about you since he met you.
Oh, someone jealous.
she'll shake her head and kind of grit her teeth.
Rose seems very unfazed.
He is mine. So back off, bitch.
Rose very calmly smiles. No, he isn't. He doesn't belong to anybody. He chooses to be with me. So you need to realize that. And she will step forward and she will wrap her, she will very quickly grab her by the throat and lift her up.
Yeah, she'll struggle for a moment, but her eyes will kind of go wide.
And she will move her to where she slams her against the wall and pins her there by the throat, slightly raised up off the ground.
She'll she'll kind of kick and fight against it and like kind of try to pull at her hand.
I swear, I am going to make you suffer worse than you've made him suffer. You have no right to do what you have done to him. And she sees her eyes burning, glowing with that fire.
She would were she not immortal.
Okay, well, she sees the intensity in her eyes.
Oh, definitely.
She'll
It's
see
full of blaze,
she'll see that she is like extremely fucking angry. There is venom and malice and everything that she can pour out onto this woman she is.
Yeah, she basically kind of pulls at her hand and chokes out that um she chokes out, and what's horrifying is that Rose can tell she means it and believes it. But she chokes out that um basically like he loves me.
She blinks. But you obviously do not love him, because if you did, you would not do these things to him. He is not yours. He is not mine. He is his own person, and he does not deserve anything that you do to him. And you certainly do not deserve him. He is too good for you.
She'll just joke out, "You're nothing but a jealous bitch."
Oh, you don't know. Jealousy is not what I feel. Oh no. I feel a lot of things. Jealousy is not one of them. You have no idea what I am capable of. But you're going to find out. I'm going to make sure that you never see him or lay another hand on him ever fucking again.
She'll choke out, "Not capable enough to keep your man."
Rose wants nothing more than to snap this bitch's neck right now, but she ain't gonna do that.
Ooh, girl! Ooh, girl! You at least out of game appreciate the bitchcraft.
Oh yeah. Oh god, this is so good. Like Rose is thinking, this bitch doesn't fucking quit. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to gag her.
Like I'm sure there's a part of Rose that like just wants to stroke her precious head and be like, in other circumstances, I'd love you.
Oh yeah, like
Ruin you and make you my
if
dark princess.
kinda like no, part of her is like, if she wasn't such an abusive cunt, she would have potential. Um,
Yeah, her eyes narrow.
Rose tightens her grip slightly. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to leave this party with me, and we're going on a trip. I swear if you refuse me, you will regret it. I will make the biggest scene in front of everyone, and I will tell everyone what you have done to Alexei. And I will show them pictures because I fucking have them.
Her jaw
Don't
look
think that I fucking won't.
yeah, her jaw goes tight, and she can see like submission in her eyes.
She sees that look. She loosens her grip. She doesn't let go right away,
Mm-hmm.
but she lets her fall to her feet.
She'll kind of stroke her neck, like looking at her very upset.
Rose will shift her demeanor and smile. Are you ready?
She, her jaw goes very tight. Yes. She said yes, by the way. I don't know if you got that.
Oh, nope, I didn't. Um, Rose will nod and let her go, and um, she'll kind of smooth herself back out, and she'll say, "If you need a minute to get yourself together, I suggest you take it."
I didn't bring anything with me.
She'll open her purse, and I'm sure that there's a mark on her neck from where Rose was squeezing.
Oh
She is going to take out her makeup that she has in there and is going to cover the marks.
yeah. She'll just lift her neck up.
And she very. This is so fucked up. Um, because Rose is doing this very almost lovingly. Like, yeah, she's gonna enjoy the. She's, oh my god. Um, but she's taking a certain amount of joy and glee in covering up these marks.
There's a very strange edge of like confusion in her.
And when Rose is finished, she uh, points her to a mirror. There, now you're ready.
She'll take a deep breath and just kind of nod.
And Rose will take her hand and lead her out by the hand. And she's going to say, I need you to act happy, like you're excited to be leaving with me.
She'll she'll kind of roll her eyes, but she'll basically kind of wrap her arm around hers and her demeanor shifts again. She'll basically plaster on like a look of like just post foreplay, basically ready to go and actually get some kind of glow.
Hmm. And Rose will adopt the same demeanor and lead her out.
And once they're like out of everything, it just turns off. I mean, it was so convincing. Like when you were up there, it was a little bit almost unsettling. And when you get free and passive of it all, her emotion shut off again.
Oh yeah, and Rose once the car is brought back um, to her and they get in the car, she drops her, and the anger and malice and almost hatred returns. You're going to be taking some time off of work. I hope you have vacation days.
I don't have any contracts right now.
Oh, perfect. You're not going to be taking any. Not for a long while.
She'll look down.
And Rose will drive to the freehold.
Okay. She'll kind of look up and tilt her head. Is this the Versace mansion?
Rose just smiles.
She'll like tilt her head.
She's thinking, yeah, bitch, you have no idea who the fuck I am.
Rose Rose will notice that as they're going along, and as she's kind of leaving behind like the glamour of like that life and that like setting,
Hmm.
her demeanor is changing. Like she seems a little more intelligent, thoughtful, a little more kind of like it's almost like the character she is in that society is starting to kind of melt away.
Rose doesn't care. She's still an abusive cunt. I mean, Rose does have high empathy, so she's trying very hard not to try and get to know this person because she doesn't want to.
Oh yeah.
She just doesn't want to. So Yeah, the drive is quiet. Rose does not ask any questions. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Oh, damn. Yeah, she's just
And
like,
she's on a mission.
she's on a mission from God. So once they get to the house, they'll let her in. Like the freehold knows who she is and things like that, and they'll let her into the 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 property runs as a hotel
Mm-hmm.
that's managed by members of the court, but the freehold aspect of it is in the hedge part of it.
Okay.
So she's basically given entrance to the hedge part,
Cool.
where you can find the suite that is, and she's probably been there before, like off scene. I don't see why
Yeah.
they would go there at some point. But yeah, she can basically go to the suite that is like their like the king's chambers. And she's just kind of looking around curiously, like she is afraid, but she's also in curious mode.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you go into the bedroom, there's like the bed and there's the stuff and there's like the wardrobe with their clothes and all that. But you can also see that there is a what do you call it? A a chessboard with the pieces set.
And Rose remembers the instructions, and she goes to find the what was it, a white knight?
Yes, it's the left white knight and the right black bishop.
Okay, and she'll move them.
Okay. When she moves them, she hears like a click, and the the mantelpiece she realizes is a false mantelpiece.
Mm-hmm.
It basically pops to where it can be opened.
Nice. She'll go and open that door.
It's a dungeon,
Oh, I was pretty sure. Um,
but not like a BDSM dungeon. Not that
mm,
kind of dungeon. Like a real one, like an Iron Maiden rack, torture implements,
yes,
actual dungeon.
yes. Um,
He does
excuse
also
me for a
notice
moment.
that blessedly and funnily, God only fucking knows what Elias has been up to. There is the smell of fresh blood on the air.
Oh, fantastic!
What's Booba been doing? I don't know, but
Rose is gonna put a pin in that thought and be like, we're gonna have to talk some more. That's her and Elias need to have another talk.
yeah,
Um,
he hates conflict. Man really hates the cable company. Fucking said you'd be here between 3 and 7. You were here at 9.
for sure. Make sure that you're never late again. Uh,
Ever. Anywhere.
ever, ever. So, um, so after she opens the door, she then grabs Heidi by the hair and yanks it and just drags her into this dungeon.
Scream, scream, fight, fight, scream, fight. Yeah, she'll basically just scream and fight and just tell her to let go and kind of like hit at her.
Yeah, Rose isn't. She is not phased by that at all. She's in full wrath mode right now. And let's see. She's going to strap her down to the torture rack.
She'll fight it for a bit and then just kind of just start crying.
Rose is going to take that in.
Yeah, her makeup is starting to kind of run There's like hundreds of dollars worth of fucking makeup on her face. They're just like running all over the place.
So Rose, she gets in her face and she very softly raises a finger to her cheek to kind of catch one of her tears and runs her finger down her cheek. Someone's scared, aren't they?
She'll she'll just she she nods and begs for her to let her go.
Rose smiles. I told you you have no idea who you're dealing with. And she'll actually softly kiss her on the lips.
Here is the damnedest thing of all, okay? She fights it for a moment and then stops by instinct.
And then she'll look her in the eyes, still full of anger and malice. You know what you feel right now. This fear. Are you afraid for your life?
She'll shake her head no.
And what are you afraid of? You afraid of getting hurt? Are you afraid that I'm going to scar this pretty little face of yours?
She'll shake her head no.
Hmm. Then tell me, what are you afraid of? And as a note, if she doesn't tell her, I do have a contract that can glean that fear from her.
She'll say that I'll never get to see him again.
She'll smile. Maybe you should have thought of that when you were forcing him to do things against his will, when you were beating him, when you were raping him. You will never see him again. You will never hurt him again. He is not your toy.
She'll scream that he likes it. He's always liked it. It wasn't in, like, she'll basically say, it wasn't until you came along. And kind of like pull against the rack. Nice.
She just shakes her head. Maybe it wasn't until I came along that he realized that he didn't like what was happening. Maybe he thought before it was normal. And I showed him what actual love was like.
She clenches her jaw. I I love him.
Do
You know
you?
nothing. Yes.
Then why would you hurt him?
because he likes it. He wants it.
No, no, he doesn't. You did not see him crying and shaking and flinch at my touch. He was scared for what you did to him.
People
I
like
had to
him,
have him sedated because he
because
was freaking out so much over what you did.
she's kind of like getting angry.
She can get angry all she wants. She ain't fucking going anywhere.
Right?
She is
I
strapped
shouldn't,
down.
I shouldn't have let him leave.
And what would you have done to him had he stayed?
Comforted him? I know it went too far, and I'm sorry for that.
No, you don't get to apologize. You're lucky that I'm the one here. Because I'm going to let you live, but I'm not going to let you go. I'm going to make you suffer as you've made him suffer. Worse. You will know pain. You will know fear. You will know what it's like to be treated as if you are nothing but property.
You think I haven't been treated like that before? You think I don't know fear? She'll shake her head. There are those that do the hurting, and there are those that hurt. I got tired of hurting.
That doesn't mean that you do what you did. That is not what you do to someone you claim to love.
He doesn't know what love is. He thinks he's loved. He thinks he has love at home. I've seen his she'll she air quotes in like her hands being bound. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen her husband or his husband. The man is so cold he can barely regard him when he's around.
You don't know anything about him.
I know how lonely he makes Lexa feel.
I'm done with you talking now. And she goes to find something to shove in her mouth.
Of course you're done, because you know I'm telling the truth. She'll shrug. Just do what you want. Break me. I don't really care anymore. Have your satisfaction.
Fine. You know what? Let's hear it. What's your fucking story? I'll listen. And she'll find, I'm sure that there's a chair or something um, where she can sit and in front of the torture rack.
She'll look over at her. What?
Your story. Let me hear it. Let me hear your sad sob story of why you now hurt people against their will. I want to hear it. Let's come on. Let's go. Tell me.
What do you mean my sad sob story?
She shrugs. You said
Blah,
that you were tired of hurting, so I want to know. I want to know. Tell me.
blah, blah, blah. My father was a sadistic asshole. Blah, blah, blah. My mother was his second wife. Blah, blah, blah. First wife took me and made me her princess. She'll shrug. She's also picking up that her name probably isn't Heidi because she seems like she's a mix of some sort of Middle Eastern. She's probably using a stage name.
Well, that was much less sad than I anticipated. So you were taken care of by the second wife. Big fucking deal.
No. My father's second wife was my mother. I was
Oh,
taken
well.
from her and given to his first wife and made into a perfect little princess. She'll bat her eyelashes. But I always saw how he treated them, as though it was property. No one in this world bats an eyelash when a man treats a woman as his property. But a woman does it? We're cruel. When we're powerful and assertive, we're bossy. When we give in because we've been playing hard to get, no one considers it rape. Maybe you're right. Maybe I was too rough on Lexa. I guess she'll shake her head. I guess he was so weak it just. He was an easy victim. Because he was. He never fought back. He never did anything. He's so pathetic. And yeah, there's a part of me that loves him for it. And there's a part of me that loved watching him break.
Rose's jaw tightens.
You can give me a wit sympathy roll just to glean something about her to
Okay.
help you a little.
Does it matter what dice roller?
No, okay, whatever.
Okay. Uh, Being called fuck this bitch. Two successes.
Um, so to give you a bit of, I don't
Oh,
know if
oh, wait. I have an empathy specialty,
go
emotion.
on. You do. Do
So I
it.
need to roll another die.
You do. Do it.
Nothing. Okay. Just the two.
She is, you're beginning to realize, a monumentally fucking good actress. And
Mm-hmm.
she is very afraid. And she is basically like she's fucking terrified. But she also realizes that if she plays it off as blasé or as though this isn't affecting her or as though just kind of like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm done. And she takes away Rose's fun, there's the chance that Rose will let her go. Like basically disappointed and disheartened and just kind of like, yeah, whatever, just get out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's doing that. Like she's not afraid. She's not terrified. Like Rose can tell she's a fucking mortal. She is soaking up glamour right now. But
Mm-hmm.
but basically she is so good at essentially like acting basically that she is managing to kind of plaster on that disaffected, just kind of like, whatever. This is like that no fun thing. You know what I mean? She's robbing Rose of the satisfaction of her rage right now. She's a fucking sadistic bitch. Like,
So when Rose realizes this evil smile comes across her face, and she'll say, "Oh, you're so precious."
oh,
See, I know you because I am you.
well,
I know exactly how to play with people's emotions and say what they want to hear. I know exactly how to act to get out of something I don't want to happen. And that's what you're doing right now. You're trying to pull one over on me so that I will let you go. I tell you that right now, Missy, that is not fucking happening.
that's
You are
honest.
not getting out of this unscathed.
She shivers and kind of like she can tell that her will is kind of breaking down a little. And she'll kind of pull at the binds.
Rose steps up to her and she will rear back the back of her hand and smack her right across the face in the same spot that Lexus was smacked.
She'll gasp and kind of wrench her head and shake it. And she'll kind of like growl at her.
Rose studies her reaction. Rose is acting very calculated right now.
She just she just shakes her head and like kind of she's getting more panicky. She's kind of pulling at the restraints and kind of starting to like kind of fight them.
Well, that got a reaction out of you. She'll walk around and use her other hand and smack the other side of her face.
She'll yell at her to stop and just kind of shake her head.
Doesn't feel very good, does it? When someone does something you don't want them to do. When someone hits you.
She'll say, please just let me go. I'm sorry. I'll leave Lexa alone.
No. No, you don't get that. You don't get to do that.
I don't understand why, okay?
You don't understand why.
I'm I was there for him. And he loves you. He told me he couldn't see me anymore. Why? I was there. He's mine. He's not yours.
When she says he's mine, Rose hits her again, this time harder.
She'll scream and shake her head. You can hit me all you want. You know it's true.
No.
You wouldn't have kept coming back to me if he wasn't mine.
Kept going back to you because he was afraid of what you might do if he didn't.
It's not my fault I have garnered the contracts in this industry to keep him in business.
You realize he does not. You're holding that over his head. He doesn't actually need his business. He does it because he wants to. It is his enjoyment. But he doesn't need it. He doesn't need the money.
Well, then maybe you should
His,
ask yourself why he keeps coming back, precious.
well, maybe because you've got a monopoly on the industry.
She'll give like a smug little smile. You're just jealous.
I already told you, jealous is not an emotion that I feel right now.
Oh, yes, you do, and it's burning you up inside. I'm younger and more beautiful and more successful than you. And I promise you, if you put Lexa between you and me, he'd come to me. And if you don't realize that, you're delusional.
Then why was he going to propose to me? I found engagement ring in his pocket. And he told his husband he was going to ask me to marry him. So tell me, really, who would he choose? It sure as fuck is not you.
That ring was for me. You don't believe me? Check the size.
Check the what?
He says, check the size. My ring finger is slimmer than yours, darling. She'll bat her eyelashes.
Rose grabs the torture tools.
She'll kind of pull. Okay, no, 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 no. You don't have to do that. Please.
She gets
Just,
a
just,
wicked smile on her face now that
just
she's begging.
let me go.
She shakes her head.
I will leave Lexa alone, I swear. Please. My father
I
has.
don't
Do you want money?
I
My
don't
father has
believe
money. He'll
you.
give you money.
I don't need money. I have plenty of money. You really don't know who you're dealing with, I can utterly destroy you in more ways than one. And I will. I'm going to destroy your career. You will never work in this town again.
You don't have that kind of power you think you do. You don't. I've never heard of you.
The most powerful ones are the ones you never hear about. And the uh, she takes one of the tools, one's the cut, and she is going to snap off her left ring finger.
Oh, that bitch! I love her. She screams, just she just screams in kind of shock and anguish, and just kind of shakes her head and just kind of pulls at the things. I realized that connection, by the way. I remembered that.
Rose Rose actually throws her head back and laughs. She takes the finger. She wipes it off and she puts it in her purse.
Oh, nice.
She's going to check the size.
It's like a size like 7, like 6.
She'll I'm sure that there are tools for cauterization.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's going to cauterize the wound.
She's whimpering and just kind of like in shock right now.
She's going to cozy up to her and stroke her cheek. She'll actually lick her tears.
Nice.
Does the name Claudio Donati mean anything to you?
Her eyes will go wide and then she blinks.
He is a very good friend of mine.
He has no taste. He turned me down. She'll kind of choke out through like it's like shaky, and she's trying to hold on to that last shred of fucking dignity and or pride and or stupidity she's got left.
I'd say that means he has all the taste in the world.
Which means at some point he probably, and she tries to insult her and she can't. She just reels and just shakes her head like I tried.
Rose smiles like, oh, good. She's finally learning to shut her fucking mouth.
She tried so hard, it just wouldn't come. I'm gonna hurt this dude now. Stop rolling.
So, Rose takes a scalpel, and she kind of like holds it in front of her face.
She gasped deeply, like, oh no, 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 please don't. No, 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 stop, stop.
She holds it up to her eye
Oh,
so that she
she
can see the blade.
fucking screams like now the bitch is scared.
She pokes the tip of the scalpel in the very corner of her eye, not on the inside, on the outside.
Oh my god, she is. It's one of those things where her head is moving. Like she just
Rose
screams and twists and like just begs her to stop.
Rose cups her face with her other hand, kind of like, grabs right under her jaw and squeezes to hold her still. And she drags the scalpel from the corner of her eye down her cheek like a tear streak.
This savage bitch. And a tear drips down the channel, blood darkening it clear pink to a deep blood red as it splashes on her collarbone.
And then she turns her face and does the same thing to the other side.
By this point, she just has tears rolling down her once beautiful cheeks.
And then, when she's finished, she sets the scalpel down and she licks the blood on both sides, from the bottom of her chin all the way up.
So, had Rose not strained her psyche, she'd be yelling things like, you're just as sadistic as I am. It's only going to be a matter of time before you do the same. All manners of
Mm-hmm.
catty and slightly cutting, but in the end, just infantile insults. But she can't. She can't because she's so hurt and crying and fighting and writhing and sobbing that none of that bitchiness is coming out because you haven't broken her, but you have certainly gotten her very close to the edge.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue. You are all talk. You have nothing to back it up. You hurt those weaker than you because you are not strong enough to actually do something about what you say. You are just as weak. So she gets a very wicked smile on her face. She gets one of those gags that holds your mouth open
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
and puts it on her.
Mm-hmm. Naturally, she struggles and fights, and especially because the stings of the cuts.
Mm-hmm. Rose gets another tool.
Oh, she flips. She loses it. Oh fuck no. Oh my God. Like she gets it and she is literally starting to flip out. Like pure anxiety and fear rolling off of her.
And Rose is eating this up. Oh my god.
Yeah, she just, oh God, like for all of her nonchalance earlier, where she was like, "No, yeah, whatever, I'm broken. That's good." No, no, now fuck that. No, fuck, we're not playing anymore. She's actually straining the leather. It's not going to give. But she is fighting
No, it's
enough to
not.
the leather tightening. No. Oh Lord, no. This is Elias's torture chamber. She's not coming out of here unless
Rose
one or two.
Rose takes the tool and she teases the entrance of her mouth with it.
Oh my.
And she pokes at her tongue very slowly.
She'll She's trying to speak, but she can't as her mouth is gagged.
Hmm.
You're fairly certain it's all manners of beggings and pleas and oh my God.
And Rose gets the most malicious, sadistic smile. And the tool that she grabbed was a lot like the one that she used to cut off her finger,
Mhm.
except it's a little bigger.
Oh, I'm so lucky I have the stomach for this stuff.
Hey, you told me I could go ham.
Go ham. Were I a weaker man, I might be like, oh fuck.
And she guides her tongue into this tool.
She almost passes out.
And then Rose snips it off.
Oh my.
You will
Yeah.
never hurt him again. You will never hurt him with your hands. You will never hurt him with your words. You will never hurt anyone ever again.
Yeah. Um, with that, Rose can see just the break in her eyes. Just the satisfaction of just her soul shattering. The glamour it releases actually almost makes her fucking drunk, to be honest. Just a rush of pure endorphins courses through her veins, almost better than a fucking orgasm. But she can tell she has tortured this girl into pure uh, beyond terror. She's mentally snapped her and broken her. As she just now she gives up against the restraints and just kind of lays there, just limp and trying not to choke to death on her own fucking blood, and in shock over everything that's been done to her, and she feels very powerless.
Rose will. She doesn't want her to bleed out, so she's going to obviously cauterize the wound from where she cut out her tongue, which I'm sure is extremely painful.
Oh yeah. She just kind of gurgles out a uh basically a just in pain.
And then Rose, she takes out the gag and she softens her demeanor, strokes her hair very softly, almost lovingly. She whispers into her ear, "You could be mine, you know. I could keep you."
She she kind of blinks and just like slow blinks. That was just a point that I realized Rose would know.
Mm-hmm.
That is a tool on your table. I do not mind exploiting that.
And she says, "Or I could give you to somebody."
She blinks and kind of looks to him, like to her.
"I know someone who would love to have you for a pet. He would take very good care of you."
She kind of did she cut off enough of her tongue to like stop her from speaking, like to leave her mute?
No, she cut off. She'll be able to speak, but it's going to be very rough.
Yeah. She can't speak right now, for fuck's sake,
No.
but she kind of like her eyes like swim in confusion and she'll just kind of blink.
And she'll ping Cade.
Okay, he'll ping back. Yes.
"I have another pet if you'd like her. She's immortal."
She feels a ripple of satisfaction and he'll say, do you want me to have her come and collect it?
"Yes."
He'll say, I feel you're at the freehold. I will have to send special entourage.
"Yes."
I don't want to enact an act of war tonight.
"No. If I need to bring her to meet somewhere, I can. But
Probably best. I can feel the guards around here. As always, I can't leave the island, dear, but
I know." She she hurt Lexa very, very much.
oh my.
For a year, she was abusing him.
Hmm.
So I marked up her face, cut out her tongue, and cut off her ring finger.
Oh, good, I wasn't in a marrying mood anyway. Did that once, loved it. She was amazing and I could never replace her. She was a dragon.
Oh my.
Indeed.
Make sure she endures the suffering she deserves.
Do you know what I'm craving right now? I'm going to send my agents a fresh, hot box of Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. Yes, bring her there.
All right, I will do that. She'll clean her up and make sure that the blood on, her the wounds on her face aren't bleeding anymore. I would imagine her face is bruised up from the hitting.
Oh, yeah. She'll kind of stumble off and, like, kind of just kind of it's that darty little walk of somebody who's been tortured and just trying to find a place to escape to and can't.
And she will lead her out
Okay.
and to the car. She won't take her inside of this donut shop. She'll just wait out in the parking lot.
I imagine. That being said, this is Miami. They'll probably assume that she plays
I'm
a S&M pet, whatever. Um,
right.
so I have to point out somebody ate somebody on the street in Miami. Um, so yeah, a bit later, an agent of Cade's will arrive and go inside and buy 2 boxes of Krispy Kreme glazed donuts, and we'll bring out 2 boxes, some Joe, and a bag, and actually hand the bag to her and say, "Cade asked you to please give this to His Majesty."
She'll take it and nod.
And the girl just kind of looks like duh! And the very large ogre will kind of wrap his arm around her forearm and pull her over. She kind of squeals and like fights against him, and he pulls her closer. Like, you better behave. And he'll basically just rough her, like kind of roughly shove her in the SUV and kind of like do the pat the hands together thing and kind of smile at her. Put the donuts in the car. He pulled her into the fucking car and did all it with one arm, by the way. And he'll
Awesome.
smile back at Rose.
And Rose will smile. And she'll say thank you.
He'll nod. It's a nice night tonight. I'm really enjoying this breeze. I'll kind of look up like that didn't fucking happen.
Right? Rose
This,
will actually just smile and nod.
you got a little red on you. I'll kind of point like
She'll she'll look down.
she's got like a splatter of blood like on her forearm.
She'll fuck it, we'll just say that there's some wet naps in the glove box or something that she'll grab and
Please,
uh
yeah, of course.
clean it off. Thank you. And then Rose will head back home.
Okay. So basically, Elias is just waiting for her to get home, and when she does, he'll smile at her.
She smiles back.
He seems satisfied.
Yeah. She'll never hurt him again.
He'll smile at her. Though she can see a deep look of guilt and strain in his eyes.
She she reaches up to touch his face.
He'll lean into her touch.
You've done nothing wrong. She made him believe that he liked it.
I
It
thought,
wasn't until I came along that he realized what was being done to him. It's not your fault.
just tell me I'm not a bad partner or a bad husband.
Oh, you're not. You are wonderful. I love you. Lexa loves you. We need you. You're not a bad husband to him. You're not a bad partner to me.
You promise?
She nods. I promise.
I'll kind of pull her in and pull her head against his chest.
She'll wrap her arms around him.
I need to rest for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you need to curl up with him for a little bit.
I have one thing I need to do first.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, she takes her purse and she goes to the bathroom and she takes out the ring
Oh, nice.
and she checks the size.
How does she check it?
Well, first she's gonna take out the finger
Mm-hmm.
and she's gonna see if it fits.
It it slides over and off it.
Rose smiles, extremely satisfied. She knew. She knew, but she just had to make sure, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she puts the ring back in the box and back in his pocket. And she'll put the finger on the nightstand
Nice.
and she'll get undressed and curl up with Lexa.
So he'll hold her close. He's still bombed the fuck out of his mind. But about noonish the next day, he'll kind of wake up. Like finally all them drugs have worked out of their system and all that, and he's the the blessed thing is that he is Winter Court. And so although he's definitely upset, although I wouldn't in any way, shape, or form belittle what he's been through, the sorrow and sadness is more home for him. So he doesn't seem to be suffering from acute distress right now. Um, but he does kind of stroke her hip gently and try to rouse her.
She'll wake up.
And he'll smile.
She'll smile.
Have a present for you.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. And he'll hand her the box. He'll kind of put it in her hand and sit down.
She smiles and tears are welling up in her eyes. She
Mhm.
opens the box.
It is a spool of thread. It's the same box from last night, but it's a spool of thread.
Okay.
And he'll smile.
She'll pick up the thread.
I know you're probably thinking I shouldn't have.
She looks a little confused, like she doesn't understand what the thread is for.
He'll take it and he'll say, life is hard. It's very hard. And there are many times in it where we can feel alone or desolate, or we can feel as though there's no one by our side. And we reach out and we find ourselves surprised that there's someone there. And he'll kind of take the string from her and kind of like spool out a bit of the thread.
Mm.
And then you make a choice to be with that person, to commit to them, and to love them. More than love them, to live with them, beside them. But sometimes all of those, all of those strains and stresses and those things that darkened your life before. He'll kind of loop the string and like tie it into like a little slip. Sometimes those things strain you together. But you have to remember at the end of the day that, and he'll kind of like pick her hand up
Mm.
and kind of loop the string onto her finger and pull it taut. At the end of the day, you have to hold on, even if it's only by a thread. I will never let that thread between us break. And he basically drops the engagement ring down the string, letting it slide onto her, like the tip of her finger.
She just tears start streaming down her face.
Rose Black, will you marry me?
She just starts to nod. Yes, I
His face
will.
lights up, and he'll slide the thing like ring onto her finger and just wrap his arms around her and pull her in.
She hugs him so tight and just cries on him. All of all of the emotions from the night just come spilling out and she just sobs.
It's at that point she actually realizes that Elias was lying next to them, and he kind of like he chuckles softly and kind of strokes her back.
She flinches slightly because she didn't quite realize. She
And
just,
yeah,
yeah.
I think we can end it there.
Yes.
So, thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching.